Hey guys, Mr. Chris coming to you again from the Lancaster Science Factory. Today we're going to take the designs we made last week on Tinkercad and go step by step through something called the slicing process, getting our prints ready to go, and then we're actually going to print an example keychain. So going back to last week, you see we have our design on Tinkercad and we saved and exported it as an STL file. And so today we're going to open up Cura, and that's C-U-R-A. Cura is a free slicing software that you can download onto a Windows, Mac, or Linux-based system. So the first thing we need to do is find our file, and now what we see is a model of what our print would look like. So like with Tinkercad, you can easily change your view by holding a right click. The main thing we're doing with the slicing software is fine-tuning the settings of our design and then also changing our file into a specific set of instructions for our 3D printer to read. So using the software, we can adjust the placement of our design, the size of our design, and we can also rotate our design in different ways. And once you have your design the way you like it, it's time to check the printer settings, and you'll notice there are a lot of them. Most of these settings don't change. And here are a few important ones that do. Print temperature is one thing that can change from time to time depending on the material or even sometimes the color of the material that you're using. So for what we're using today, 215 degrees Fahrenheit should work just fine, so we'll keep that the same. We also have to look at support settings fairly often, deciding with our design whether or not it needs supports. This one does not. So once I've checked my settings and make sure they're perfect, I have to find my micro SD card from my 3D printer and save the G-code on it. And the G-code, of course, is the type of file that the slicing software creates. So then we put our micro SD card into the printer and our file is ready to go. A few more things we have to do though before we actually start printing. We have to check the bed leveling. Some printers have automatic sensors for their bed leveling. These monoprice maker selects that I have aren't quite that nice, so I have to manually bed level. So I'm taking each corner here and adjusting it, making sure it's exactly 1/10 of a millimeter away from the bed. The nozzle, that is, the nozzle of the printer is 1/10 of a millimeter away from the bed. So checking that, going back and forth, measuring that thickness with a piece of paper, because that's about the thickness of a sheet of paper, 1/10 of a millimeter. So once we have that set up and it looks good on all corners, then we can put a little glue stick down. That's just regular Elmer's glue stick that I use, and then go through the interface of the 3D printer itself and find our file and print. You'll see that the 3D printer goes layer by layer, starting at the very bottom, so it'll just make an oval shape here at first, and then on top it will make the lettering. So it's going 2/10 of a millimeter per layer there. So total print time is about 20 minutes, but we'll obviously speed things up here. And there you have it. And once your print is complete, we can just use a putty scraper to carefully scrape our print off, and our keychain is ready to go. Thank you for stopping by and learning about the 3D printing process with me. Don't forget, you can upload your own designs to our website, www.lancastersciencefactory.org. Also, if you find this process interesting, you may want to check out our 3D printing summer camp, which is happening July 27th through the 31st. All right, thanks again. See you next week.